Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Veronica Keith, and I am CEO of MSP.
And my name's India, and I'm a company secretarial assistant.
We are not here to go through the new regulations, so we're not here to teach your grandmother how to suck eggs. You know the regulations exist, because obviously that's presumably why you've joined this webinar. But we are here to give you a practical overview of what you need to do, and obviously how we can help. All natural people must verify who they are. In law, these are what we call people who are living and breathing, not corporate directors or anything. So these are the directors, LLP members, and PSCs. PSCs are people of significant control, and these will be generally members who hold over 25% of the shares. It could also mean that people who have other influence for any other reason. Directors, in the eyes of the Companies Act, are all the same. So when you hear the term executive director, non-executive director, nominee directors, all of these are directors, and as such, these regulations apply to them. So a director has responsibility under the Companies Act. The company secretary is not a director and does not need to undergo this verification. So when is all this happening? It all kicks off on the 18th of November, which is next Tuesday. It's not, thankfully, all happening at once. So all new appointments and new incorporations from next Tuesday, all the directors will have to be verified. So if you form a company on Monday, you're fine, but on Tuesday you have to do the verification. For those existing directors, which is going to be the bulk of it, they will have to do it prior to their next confirmation statement. So this could mean that some people have to do it within a couple of days, some people nearly a year. But it will be gradually done over the year, and it will be all directors will have to be verified by the 17th of November 2026. So, and then the PSCs have slightly different. They need to be registered within 14 days of their registration as a PSC. There are a number of ways that people can be verified. You can go on to the government's website, but for the purpose of today, we are going to focus on the authorised corporate service providers, ACSPs for short, and MSP is registered as such. If you go through the government's website, we haven't done it because that's not obviously why we're here, but I have heard of varying results, shall we say, and some people have gone through without an issue, but sometimes it fails, and people don't know why. Obviously with the ACSP it's a little bit different, and we can guide through the process. So our team has gone through rigorous training to get this authorization so that we can carry out the verification. We also have home office training. There are 2 people left, I'm being one of them, who hasn't done the training, and we've got that on Monday. But India here has been through the training.
So, hi, I'm India. So I am a company secretarial assistant for those who weren't here at the start. And I did my home office training roughly about 2 months ago now. As Philippa said, it's a rigorous training, but it means that we are able to identify fraudulent documents, and it just means that we have access to wider ranges of ID that we can accept, which you cannot do through the Companies House website itself. So once a director has been verified, they will receive a code from the Companies House website. This is called a personal code, and this will be used for any existing or new appointments. This is personal to the director or PSC themselves. Eventually, this will align with all of your directorships and, if you're a member or shareholder, into one space under one name, which is currently not the case. And I'm sure that some of you know that there are different appointments on Companies House. You could be listed 25 times, and that may not have connected to all of your companies, because maybe you have a middle name in one of the listings or not in another. And I know that Philippa personally has this.
I've got hundreds of appointments because when we do the incorporations, I am the first director. So obviously over the years I've had many appointments, and even now I've got quite a lot of active ones because I'm a director of all our group companies, but at Companies House I am shown up separately.
Yes.
So that it'll be lovely to have it aligned.
Yes, so eventually this will all be aligned. There will be one name under, and it will show all of your companies or whatever you're linked with under this same code. So our preferred method of verification is a UK passport or a driver's license, preferably biometric. That doesn't mean that's the only way to do this. We accept many other forms, and we can we will provide a list after this with what that is. That means that if your client is an international and doesn't have a biometric passport, there are ways around that. We currently use an app called ThirdFort. Now, ThirdFort was chosen. It's not necessarily the cheapest of apps that we could have used, but we have used this specifically because it is secure, reliable, and it is used by Companies House itself, which means that we've got that background and that backup. We think this makes sense to align with them. I personally use the ThirdFort myself. I think it's fantastic because it's super quick. It removes all of that faff. There's no need to be scanning passports, sending it over to different people, none of that. It's usually a 5-minute process. It just basically takes a photo of your face and your passport. It's really great.
Yeah, when I was helping the team, when I was doing mine, it took me about 10 minutes to do, but that was because I was on a call with the team and I was showing them every step so they could see what I was being asked to do, and it was very straightforward.
And noted that this week I had a 90-year-old client do this. So,
For all ages then.
Exactly,
Yes.
So outsourcing to a dedicated company, secretarial and accounting firm like ourselves. Why would you do this? Well, this reduces your stress. We are obviously aware that EAs have a lot to do anyway, and your clients as well. These ultra high net worth individuals and principals, they don't have time to be sitting and doing all of the different steps and using multiple different devices and gadgets to do this. We understand that. That is why we can help reduce that stress, save time, and be way more cost efficient in the long run.
Yes, it's one of the things that we are aware that trying to get them to sit down and do this process can be difficult. So we have made it as simplified as we can, as simplified as we're allowed to do. So therefore, it makes it easier for you.
Self-completing the verifications as well can complicate future filings, especially the future CSO1's confirmation statements, which is a yearly requirement. So this reduces the risk of error and delays, which obviously is not something that principals and clients would want to be dealing with. But also we have more flexibility with the ID documents for overseas clients, as I mentioned. Also, in future, and this comes into effect next year, all filings for a company must be made through an ACSP, which is what we are. We're registered as an ACSP. The only people that can be registered as an ACSP are chartered secretaries, accountants. This means that any future filings for the company will have to be through someone who is registered. Therefore, you know, if you're using us for the ITVs, etc., this means you are already in our system, registered, and approved. You know, get ahead of the curve.
And just means you have to do it once. So instead of repeating it when it comes in.
Will this be it? No.
Of course not.
There are plans to include corporate directors, LLP corporate members, and as I said, those who file forms. No timeline has been given about the corporate directors and LLP members currently. This is something that obviously we keep up to date with Companies House regularly. We are not sure what this will look like, but this will obviously be placed into our systems accordingly when it's released. So that will be already ahead.
Okay.
So as governance professionals, we can support yourselves, your clients, your principals, your ultra high net worth individuals by ensuring their compliance obligations are met. This will be discreet and efficient. We can provide clear guidance on the identity verification, statutory filing, and the governance protocols. This allows you to focus on your principal's priorities, whilst also we are safeguarding the legal and reputational interests. To note, as we said, Philippa did this herself, and it really did not take long.
No, it was a very simple process. I mean, for me, the most complicated thing was actually in each step showing the team. So I was getting a screen up, showing them what was on my phone, and then doing it. So that was the most complicated thing, was just making sure the team could see what I was doing. But it was very, very, very straightforward. And as India said, a 90-year-old doing it this week, bit of a challenge, but he managed it.
Yes, and we can help you each step of the way as well.
So, as this is new regulations coming in, not many people know what it's all about. So, it's all new. So, have you got any questions? We've perhaps bamboozled you a bit, but one of the things is this. I want to reiterate, it's all types of directors will need to do this. So even if it's what we call it a UK establishment or a branch, you will still need to do the verifications. And as I just go through some of the questions that might come up, is biometric passports.
Yes, we can do non-biometric passports. We just require another form of ID. As obviously that's not something that you can do through the website itself yourselves. Will we have to do this yearly? No, this is a one-time requirement.
Through an ACSP. So if you do it through the government's website, is that a one-off?
Yes, it
However,
will be required to confirm your details are correct at the point of the confirmation statement yearly.
Okay. And I just want to reiterate the third fort. We've chosen it because it is reputable, it's secure, and it is also a Companies House approved software. So approved that they're using it as well. Fortunately, we had decided to use third fort before we knew what they were using, so it has made it easier for us. But we can do one-on-ones. If you've got any questions, we can do one-on-one sessions with you. We're happy to do that.
yeah, please pop any questions in the chat if you have any.
I'm just putting up, this is who we are.
So,
And okay, thank you all. And if you've got any questions, our contact details are up on the screen. India is our internal expert, so any emails to her and we'll respond. But we want to help people through this process and make sure you get it right the first time. I'm confident that when you're helping your clients to do their verification, that you feel confident to be able to help them.
brilliant. I don't think we've got any questions, so I think we will finish there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna.
Bye.
Bye.